Yes, we are technically live. Hello,
Hey, I
world.
made it.
Hey,
Yes, you made
everybody.
it just in time, Abel. Uh,
Oh,
so
he's
we
been
will
here like
I,
20
just
minutes.
I had a long drive down the 805, so
Okay.
all the
And
way from
silence.
work.
no, I went to the new place, the Embolden place.
Oh yes, duh. I know
Yeah,
this. You sent us a fucking picture of your beer. I just wasn't thinking through. Sorry.
Did you
it's
did you
all
have that
good, brother.
creative creature one?
I did. I didn't really like it,
Oh shit, I
Yeah.
liked it a lot.
but I did like their pilsner and their Kolsch that I had. So
Isn't
See, I
that
didn't like the cold
Embolden
so much.
place one of the Kelly brothers?
Yes.
it is. It's the Kelly brother that wears baseball cap, not this kind of
Yeah.
hat. I was
Yes.
actually
Candy,
talking to him.
right?
Kids are going to be on our show next. Sneak preview. So going to be on the show the next time. And I told him, I said he should come on the show without a hat, and we'll try to figure out which one it is.
No chance.
I'm actually good friends with Brian.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, I brewed a beer with them, with Creative Creature before I moved up here to Oregon.
That's awesome, man.
They're super cool people.
Indeed. Let's see.
Yeah, it was like media industry night, so it was a bunch of people that we saw there. So it was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Right on.
Great. All the masks.
Look forward to trying.
Yes. Yeah, Liz Bauer was there. Maggie was there. Tyler Tucker was there. Ivan from Three Punks was there.
That's a good homie for sure.
Yeah.
I wanna
Reed
say that he's
Reed,
like
Reed
one of
Birkland
my-
was there for a bit. Robert from 13 Point was there. So he left before me to come watch the show, probably.
Yes, probably.
Guy can dream, right?
Yes, right, indeed. Well, I mean, he does support us. So.
I know. That's what I told him. I
Oh,
said,
Robert's great.
I told him, I said, I got to leave too. I got to go do
Yes,
some show.
yeah.
You pay me, so I got to go.
Hello, Babino.
Hello.
Super bad with So Babino, who's normally first, they're on vacation in Arizona in a little out of the way cabin by themselves. That guy took his smoker and grill with him.
That was crazy.
He's
that
that
was crazy
dedicated.
awesome.
Yeah, crazy awesome. But looks like we got our baker's dozen here. So let's fire it up. Hello, and Estella magically showed up during the theme song. Hello, lady. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Abel, for another great screen gag. Is it under beer? Oh, it's under. It's in packaging. Don't take it out. Hello and welcome to the Indie Beer Show. This week we are joined by Sam from Great Notion Brewing. Please introduce yourself. More importantly, say your last name for us and tell us what you actually do at Great Notion.
My name is Sam Cermeño. I am the lead brewer for our production facility.
And when you say production facility, that makes us think that there are multiple facilities.
Yeah,
Is
so
that
we
true?
have the OG Brew Pub, which is a 7-barrel brew house. It's a small spot. It's where it all started, and now we have the production facility where I work at, and that's a 30-barrel brew house, and we have a lot more room there.
Yeah, I would expect. That's quite an upgrade. 7
Yeah.
to 30. That's rad.
For sure.
So our first and Estella's gone. Anyways, that's technology for
She
you,
hates 30-barrel brew houses, man.
right?
It's like,
That's it. That
once
is
you get
all-
over 10, it's like, man, you used to be cool. I don't know what happened. I'm out.
we're gonna start with ledge beer. So why don't you break it down for us? Let us know what's behind the beer that we're putting in our mouth right now.
That is one of the few lagers that we make, and every time we get to make it, all of us are stoked because that's the beer that we drink the most. The brewers and the staff, you know. It's a German Pilsner. It's 5.5%. It's brewed with Hallertau and Saaz, and we lager it for at least 6 weeks every time.
It is straight up great beer.
Yeah, I dig it. I think it's a good Pilsner. We're getting better at it. You know, we're not a lager brewery, but we're always looking to get better at brewing the style.
Excellent.
You could fool people into thinking that you made lagers. As
We actually just made a new lager
of
with.
course.
Have you guys heard of Wayfinder?
I have not.
They're my favorite like lager brewery in Portland. We did a beer with them, a lager beer, Schwartz beer, and
nice.
that should drop in the next couple of weeks. So I'm super stoked for that one.
Yeah, great time of year for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, this is just so nice and clean and just easy going, but there's plenty, like, so much flavor, but it's just still easy going and refreshing. So way to go. Yeah, make some more. Make some more different lagers.
Yeah, I think
this is my genius expertise that I'm lending to you. Make more good beers, okay?
That was a very astute assessment, Brandon. But I think for me, what sticks out about the beer is just overall balance. And with every great beer, if you have a great balance between the malt, yeast, and hops, it's gonna drink it. This is just, if you're looking for a classic lawnmower beer, this is it. Get it, drink it. You're not gonna find it in San Diego right now. Occasionally, though, a small lot will come down to like Vine and Vine or Bottle Craft, so pay attention really hard. Join their newsletters, and that's actually how they ended up on the show. Shipment came down to Vine and Vine. I bought one of each of them, tried them all. Their brewery lived up to the hype around them. I hate to use that word, but there's a lot of internet hypage around Great Notion, and it lived up for me. And then so I reached out.
Hypage? Is that a word now?
Yes. Well,
okay.
maybe now.
I think I've used that word before.
And
gonna have the Urban Dictionary that one, see what happens.
And so I reached out, and like all the great breweries that we're so lucky have been on our show, they jumped right in with both feet. And this is just the spirit of craft beer that we find that is out there, whether it's in our hometown of San Diego or in other markets as we reach out. But it's great, man. So speaking of all the hype, you guys are up in Portland, and you're in a sea of bitter, piney, resinous, West Coast type, they call it something else, IPAs, and you guys are all about super murked out hazy IPAs, which is very awesome and exciting, and you guys are pretty bold with them. But do you think that helps you stand out, being focused on hazies when you're kind of in a traditional West Coastian piney area?
I mean, the people want the juice, man. We gave them what they want.
Yeah.
They like the sweet fruited beers that we make, the hazies. We've made I don't even know how many hazies we've made, but I mean, I personally like brewing them. I don't drink them as much as I used to. I tend to drink a lot more lager beer these days. We have great water in Portland, so the breweries that are executing lagers well are, outstanding. So,
if you don't mind a quick interruption, I love going to PDX, but haven't been in a while. What are some places that I should look for lagers in particular?
Wayfinder for sure, man.
Yep, there you go.
Number one. I mean, Heater.
What he drank?
This is a lager called Number 6.
Oh,
it comes in a 6-pack, and I thought it was so dope. I was like, "What?"
That's right.
But yeah, them, Heater Allen. There's another brewery, Von Ebert. I've been going to them recently, and they make some great lagers.
That is awesome. A great freaking name.
Yeah. Von Ebert. There's so many good breweries out here. It's crazy. It sucked that I like moved here right when COVID hit, so I just got to like go to work, and I haven't really checked out the city as much as I would like to. But I mean, hopefully once this blows over, I'll be able to go check out all the spots and give you guys more insight.
Yeah, we'll look forward to your field report in the future, man. You've got about 3 weeks to get that on my desk. No, just kidding. So how did you get your start in beer, and what led to you ending up being the lead brewer at Great Notion?
Ooh, you want the long story or the short?
Well, we are on a podcast, so yes, I guess.
I mean, we have an hour and 45 minutes still left in the show. You're good, bro.
I started homebrewing in 2014, and I was in a wheelchair at the time.
Whoa!
I got hurt. I broke my feet. I was out of work. I was super bored and depressed, and I was like, I need to do something. And I had a friend that had showed me. He introduced me to home brewing. He made a black IPA back when black IPAs were cool, and I was like,
when they were a thing.
Yeah, I was like,
Cascadian Dark Yellow.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this thing? And I had it, and it was like a 12-ounce bottle, and I drank it, and that bottle got me pretty buzzed. So I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. It tastes great. So that sparked my interest in homebrewing. I didn't do it until like years after I tried that beer from him, which ended up being like 2012, and I started brewing in 2014. And yeah, once I started doing it, I was in a wheelchair. I was brewing like just stovetop little 5-gallon batches, extract batches, and yeah, man, I fell in love with it. Kept doing it. Started bottling my home brews. I started putting labels on them. I gave the project a name. The name like built a reputation on the streets because of friends that I met through craft beer, and then I ended up working at Black Market Brewing in Temecula.
Oh,
that was my,
yeah,
that
we're
was
from
my,
there.
Yeah, that was my first craft brewing job. I was I was assistant brewer there for 2 years with my friend Kyle Boroff. And yeah, 2 years after that, I ended up leaving to go try out this. I went to go work for this guy in Newport, Oregon, and quickly kind of realized it wasn't going to be my type of thing. And while I was in Oregon, I was like, I already knew the guys from Great Notion from GABF. I met the brewers there, and they were super cool. And the year that I met them at GABF, we actually ended up winning a medal there. So they were like, fuck yeah. We won the gold for Hazy Double IPA, me and Kyle. And yeah, Great Notion came by our booth, and they tried some of our beers, and they were like, oh shit, some of these beers taste like your guys' beers. Or some of our beers taste like theirs. Yeah. And I thought that was a huge compliment. I'm like, oh shit, dude, the guys from Great Notion said our beers kind of taste like theirs. Yeah, I moved to Oregon, and then I was out here. Did that collab with them, Apricult, which we'll get into later. And
Nice.
I mean, fuck, dude, it's crazy. It's been a long time coming. I feel like. I mean.
So how did you break your feet? Is what I want.
Yeah.
I was being an idiot. I was rock climbing. Not really rock climbing. I was just on this rock, and I fell, and I broke both of my feet.
Oh,
dude.
Oh yeah, I was rock climbing. Oh, all right. I wasn't really rock climbing, but I was on a rock.
I mean, I
was
was
rock falling. Were you rock falling?
Yeah, I thought I was.
And by rock, you mean like a fence? Like,
Literal rock and roll. I like it.
Yeah.
I was up at Mount Baldy, and I was I was climbing this rock. I was getting into rock climbing at the time, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna try to climb this. Did it, came back down, tried it again, and then I fell and broke my feet. So that's kind of what.
So are you still into rock climbing?
No, not at all. My feet still hurt from that.
All right.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean,
PTSD from rock climbing. I get it.
Rock climbing. Yeah.
I didn't want to say that, but I was kind of worried. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, thanks to that accident, I got into brewing. So
I gotta admit though, I was really worried when the guy said he's depressed, found an easy, cheap way to drink. I'm like, oh, I don't know if. I'm glad this turns out well, but so it's like, oh yeah, man, let's have 5 gallons of hooch because man, like,
yeah, it's because of that injury that I'm doing what I'm doing now. So I'm like, kind of thankful it happened, but not.
You're right.
My feet still hurt from it, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it sucks. And then our brew deck is pretty tall, so it's like 13 steps. Just up and down all day.
I think they call that free rehab.
I never even went to rehab when I got hurt. I didn't have insurance, so I was like,
oh god.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You need to build a fireman's pole and just kind of go down it.
Yeah.
Like that.
I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can handle it.
Oh yeah,
So-
the fall.
So then, how did you get out of the middle of nowhere with 2 broken feet? Did you literally walk out on broken feet?
No, my wife was with me when it happened. She actually has a picture of me falling off the rock
Nice.
somewhere on her phone.
She just threw you over her shoulder and brought you back
No,
down.
she had to go. She had to go get help. Like
Oh.
she got like a ranger that was nearby, and he called the paramedics, and they had to come and pull me out with a stretcher because I couldn't walk. Obviously,
Yeah.
in the middle.
Wow. Oh
Um,
man.
yeah, it was pretty shitty, but yeah, I mean that happened.
But it happened for a reason.
I started
Yeah.
brewing. I got
Right.
a job at a brewery, and then now I'm working at like one of my favorite breweries. I was a huge fan before I even started working at Great.
Oh, right on. That's
I mean,
awesome.
it sounds like a good name for an IPA, like Broken Ankle IPA.
Yeah. Broke my feet.
Twice broken.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, let's talk about let's turn this into something happy. Let's get into our top 3. Since next week is literally our show day, would be on Thanksgiving, we're gonna skip it. Enjoy the holiday with your family. We're gonna enjoy the holiday with ours. But we decided we were gonna do our top 3 things that we're thankful for this holiday season, and we're gonna start with Estella, number 3, lady.
This is probably gonna sound selfish,
Good.
but but I'm thankful that I was never laid off, unemployed during all this stuff. I've been working. I actually picked up another job at the brewery, but I'm thankful that I didn't have to struggle because I know a lot of people are struggling right now. So, yeah, that's my number 3.
That's awesome,
Good to be
and
grateful
a
for
great
something
one.
like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Like I feel bad for other people, but like I'm just
Yeah.
glad.
Sometimes it's good to be air quotes essential.
Yeah.
All right, Abel. Number 3 for you, sir.
I mean, it's not. I guess it can be on the selfish line too, but it's more of like I'm just thankful for my health. I know because of COVID being out there's been a lot of losses in families. I lost my mom, but not because of COVID, but
Right.
other reasons. And so it's like just having my health. I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for you guys, everybody having their health and still being here and being healthy and trying to survive. I mean, this is survival of the fittest right now. So.
Yeah, it's
And me.
And Brandon, I mean, like I love Brandon Death, and I wish I could see him all the time, but like he's been
Stay
secluded
home.
for what?
Stay
What are
home.
you at? Day 219? What is this?
I'm like in the 230s now.
Yeah, okay, so
But that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
he's
you
alive.
look great for 230.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as it's not what it is when I'm like on the scale, I'm good.
That's a good number for Brian. So
I
I'm
could
5'6".
I could lose Brandon's weight and still be over 230. It's okay. It's also probably not true, but Mr. Hernandez.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Even though it's a pandemic and there's plenty of negative aspects we could focus on, I'm actually thankful for the time that it provided. All these days here at home, I'm not one to really let time go to waste. So I was able to do a lot of things. Like, although I drank more beer in this year than I ever have in my entire life, more consistently, I also ran or hiked over 700 miles at this point.
Whoa!
And have got really fit, and that's really, really good for someone with lupus or just anybody. It's really nice to get fit. I wrote a book, I started a business, and I did a lot of fun things here in between. And I don't know that I could have done all that if I didn't have the time. So at the same time, it was kind of sucky to be here all the time. I think we all wish we had more time in life, and I think that's what I'll take away from this pandemic. Is like I finally did. I did the things I said I wanted to do, and there you go.
That's awesome, man. And fuck you as well. You're doing too good. You're doing too good. You're making us all look real bad.
I was gonna say, for all that beer you've been drinking, you can't tell because you're walking so much.
Well, the camera's only from chest high, so you can't see.
Oh my god! Look, you just can't keep adulting at this level, Brandon. I can't accept it. You gotta slip up a little bit somewhere.
I came out of the
please.
womb adulting. That's kind of a problem. In 2021, I want to fuck around way more.
Okay.
That's
All
what I
right.
needed.
All right. All right.
Once it's safe, look out. I'm going to be down to clown 24/7, man.
All right. That's awesome. We need to see some irresponsibleness around here. Sam, did you want to play our top 3 game?
Sure.
All
I mean,
right.
like you guys said, I'm thankful for being employed. You know, a lot of people lost their jobs, like you said. Thankful for my health. I'm thankful that I've been able to spend a lot more time with my family than I probably would have had this pandemic never happened.
Yeah.
So we've grown closer. And I'm thankful for all my friends and shit that are still doing well. And, I mean, I'm hoping that this blows over sooner than later, like all you guys. But yeah, thankful to be here. Thankful to have a job.
Yeah,
Thankful
good,
for
man.
the way the election went. I mean, probably shouldn't get into that.
No, we all were.
We're
I think you just said everybody's top 3 right now.
Yeah.
Bro. Like you just went around like
It's my number.
What do you mean?
Number
What do you
2.
mean? Trump won, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think he still thinks he did.
Yeah.
That guy thinks a lot of things, but
Oh Lord.
so I'm thankful that we really was an act of desperation. I mean, early on, Brandon was quarantined before the public, and we realized that with Brandon's health conditions and just the virus in general, we were going to have to take it very serious, and we weren't going to be able to get together. And it took us 5 or 6 weeks actually to figure out the right platform and to change the entire show to what you guys know of us today. We weren't ready to be live on video for all of you guys. We just made it happen because we had to figure out a way to record. And it turned out that the best way to record also allowed us to broadcast live, and that it led to this awesome connection we get with our fans. Which let's do some housekeeping and catch up. Yeah, it's rad. So, Matt, we started with you. I'm glad you were able to get in from Sedona. Dan Diego's, thank you, sir. Mug Club member donated his mugs back to being prizes for the food drive. So if anyone,
Nice.
we'll get into that a little later. Stina says hi to Sam from, I'm sure you know Stina.
Yeah, she used to work for Intergalactic, I think.
Yep, indeed. And Troy is yelling at you as well.
That's my boy for sure.
Matt just had a black IPA from Savage Wood, which is a great little brewery down here. Hi, Maggie. We love you. Thanks for being here.
hello again, Maggie.
Indeed. You were just hanging out with her 20 minutes ago?
Yep.
All right, there you go. That happens. Matt's number 3. He always plays along with us. Thank you, sir. Small businesses. I agree. The amount of, or the way that small business pivoted to give us beer and food in a safe manner, pretty fucking stellar. Thank you to those. And the larger companies were way behind. It took them a lot harder, or a lot longer. Hello to Great Notion from Rudy. Thank you for joining us, sir. Another goes. You have some cheerleaders in the crowd.
Yeah, a lot of fans for Sam.
Here's another cheerleader for Sam. That's rad. And apparently Maggie is where you just left her, still at Emboldened Beer, who will be on the show.
Hell yeah!
In December, December 3rd, by the way, we'll have Emboldened on. And
It'll be our next show.
Oh, it's our next show after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
You're right.
It's going to be our next show.
Short.
And Amy chimes in that she's always been amazed that Great Notions beers. Literally, you could take a checklist and you'd find every single ingredient they were trying to replicate. They are really good. So what she's saying is that if they say bourbon, peach, vanilla, you can taste all those flavors in their beer. They're really good about their descriptors matching what you can taste, not just waxing poetically. We
really try. We really try to make every flavor stand out, even if it's just a little bit. Like every single day, we have a new beer we're working on, and we're like sharing it with the crew and getting everyone's input. Some people think like this one needs more strawberry, and we're like, no, strawberry's fine. It needs more vanilla. So it's cool. It's a cool team effort. All of us trying the beers, all of us like giving each other input. we decide whether we add more or less, or leave the beers as they are.
So it's a consensus type deal instead of just pulling
Yeah,
rank.
yeah, absolutely.
Very cool.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
seems to be working out really well.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of working out, let's grab fucking Juice Invader. Sam, why don't you break down this beer for the fans?
Juice
With-
Invader is
Oh,
one
well,
of our
let's do all do
And
it
that
at the same
little
time.
character, yeah,
yeah.
that freaking character is really cool.
So
That's one of my
cute.
favorites. That's one of our hazy IPAs. That's big on Galaxy. It's probably one of our better sellers as far as the hazy IPAs goes. And,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, people love that beer when it comes out.
Yeah, so I describe your level of
Because
hazy
it's really good. That's why.
in between Pure Project and Modern Times for the San Diegan. But where you guys excel, I have always found, is in aromatics. Your nose is always fucking huge.
Yeah, we mess around a lot with big dry hops and doing them in specific times. Whereas some people do their dry hop post fermentation, we might be doing something like during or right at the tail end. And I think that helps a lot because I've noticed a big difference in dry hopping beers post fermentation versus like during still active fermentation. We get a lot more aromatics and a lot better flavor from the beers that we make, the hazies that we make when we add the hops during those stages, for sure.
Really great.
Nice.
I just noticed your date codes.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
We have
Out
a
of-
we have a brand new date code for every single beer, and it started recently. I mean, we started really focusing on that because now you get to check in date codes, I think, on the app, or you get to check in cans and you get points.
Wow.
And obviously
Wow.
points add up, and you become you get if you get a certain amount of points, you become a timber beast, which is like the highest level that you can.
And
Cool.
so, speaking of the character that's on this beer, you guys have pretty much a character on almost every beer.
Yeah.
Do you have work with a particular independent artist? Do you have an in-house art department? What's the behind that?
Chad Eaton does all our artwork. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but we were talking about skateboarding earlier
Yeah.
before we went live. He does a lot of artwork for Element skateboards. And,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think he was from Portland. I'm not sure, but I think he lives in LA now. But yeah, you can check him out. I think his Instagram handle is @timberps or something like that.
No, it's cool. It's one of the things that sets you guys apart. Also, just all the time in your Instagram posts, the same artwork and characters are animated, which we all know is a pain in the ass. So good job there. And then thirdly, you guys, you've always sold direct to the public, but this year you took it to another level with you mentioned it earlier, your own app. It's really fucking slick app, man.
Yeah, they put a lot of time and money into that app, and we're still working on it. I think there's games that are coming up on that. It's gonna be more interactive and stuff like that.
Real quick, so what drove y'all to do something like that? Like, an app is labor intensive, financially intensive, and something that you have to kind of upkeep. What were your kind of goals with that, other than to keep people engaged and having fun?
I think it helped a lot with the lines that would form outside of the brewery. I think that was a major factor in why we did the app.
Okay.
Just people outside camping and like drinking in line and stuff like that. Stuff that's not allowed, but they still do it. I mean,
Right.
The app facilitated the sales of beer. Like now you can buy the beer when it's released and you can pick it up at your own leisure at your own time. I think that was a huge reason why the app happened. And it's helped a lot. Like we don't really see lines anymore. We don't want lines, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
We only have like one or two people come into the tasting room at a time. to pick up their beers, and there's like an entrance and an exit. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I
The
think
staff's gotta love that.
yeah, and like obviously Great Notion's super well known for their artwork, and we thought like why not take it like in a sort of comic book route type of thing. People like that stuff.
We
Yes.
do. We do.
Yeah.
I think our art
Uh,
is what makes us stand out the most. To be honest, I mean it's
I
amazing.
will say, it's a Great Notion beer. Just like
Yeah, yeah,
scanning, that's like, that's what it is, regardless of
absolutely.
how many other cans you see there. Like you're like,
Yeah,
oh, okay,
marketing is huge. I mean, if
yeah,
people see a can and they know it's you just by looking at it from a distance, I think you've done a great job as far as creating a brand for your product.
absolutely, yeah,
That
yeah.
gave
well,
us
and
a buzz.
we're just big fans of your business model in general. You guys are a direct to public establishment. Like you exist off having multiple tasting rooms and selling all your beer. You don't really distribute much. That really allows you to have freedom to do whatever works for your fan base.
Yeah.
And so, how do you constantly keep inventing
Yeah.
crazy ass fucking beers? I mean, we haven't got into the
Yeah.
crazy stuff you guys do.
It's
That'll be
fucking not
later
easy,
in the
man.
show.
It's-
But what
There's-
fuels your never ending creativity?
It's a group of us, man. We have this idea board in the cellar, and we write ideas on there. And sometimes we'll pick one and we'll talk about it, and we'll determine whether we can pull it off or not. James Dugan, our like OG brewmaster, he's like the Willy Wonka of the craft beer world, man. That dude's a wizard. Great Notion probably wouldn't exist if it wasn't for him, but yeah, he was the one that was brewing all these weird beers in his garage, and he still somehow manages to create some crazy ass beers that I'm like, this is fucking cool, like this is good.
That's awesome.
Even years after being open, it's like, yeah, he's a super creative guy, and we have a bunch of super creative people on the team. It's not just me, it's not just James, it's like Andy and Polly and all the guys, Rob. They all have good ideas. And
Is there
yeah,
anything
we
that's...
just
Oh, sorry, man.
No,
I don't
no
mean to
worries.
interrupt you.
no worries.
Is there anything that's just been so nutty as far as ideas where you're like, that's never going to work? And then you take it through development and you're like, I'll be damned, that was really good.
There's been some that we were just like, fuck, this was a terrible idea, but I mean, we've been able to, work with it and make it so that it tastes okay. But for the most,
That's awesome.
for the most part, I mean, when we try to pull off a beer, we're pretty confident that we can, so we just go with it.
Yeah.
Do you guys like argue with each other about like what could work? Like, do you guys like take off your shirts and do like bare knuckle fighting? like, hey, this beer will work. No, it won't. It's like,
Yeah. No, actually, we all work pretty well as a team. There's not a lot of egos up in here, so
That's
I
good.
love that. I love that about the company. Like I've been able to write recipes, and there's like no doubt. Like, yeah, you can brew that, do it. So I'm like, oh shit, cool.
Wow.
And yeah, even like our cellar guys are like, dude, I have this idea. We'll think about it. We'll talk about it. We'll make it
I mean,
happen.
but do you want to bare knuckle fight though? It'd be a cool thing.
I mean, I love watching MMA fights and shit, but I'm not a fighter, man.
You don't
He's
need
a
that in the
brewer.
brewery, right? You don't need that in the
Uh,
brewery.
First rule of
honestly,
Fight Club, bro. First rule of Fight Club.
Apparently, Abel wants to go old timey boxing
Abel wants to
sometime
see
soon.
fights. What
We
the-
gotta- That's awesome, man.
We want mafia all of a sudden. What the hell
I was like,
happened?
where-
Al Capone just showed up. What's going on?
There's a couple new comments that came in. Amy said, it's like boom. I don't know exactly what she's talking about, but we love you, Amy. Cheers to you, Sam. I'm assuming that's one of your friends. Yes, I agree, Amy. All of their branding, merchandise, design of their cans, artwork, their website, their app, all very fucking on point. That's rad. And then, yes, I'm sure you recognize that person.
That's my brother.
Normally,
Yeah,
people with the same last name, like Zermano, recognize each other.
Yeah, he was the one that helped me start this whole thing. When I started homebrewing in a
He
wheelchair
pushed you off
in
the
my
rock.
house.
He pushed you off the rock.
He was the
He was
rock.
living next
He
door.
was
to
the
me.
rock.
Oh my god.
He was actually living next door to me at the time when I was like, dude, I want to start brewing. And he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, let's just buy a kit. We bought one of those cheap, like, Midwest supplies, like, extract kits with the buckets and whatnot. And he was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll help you brew some beers. And we'd come over and we'd brew the beers on the stovetop, and he did most of the physical labor until I was able to walk again. And
So you were like, do this, do that, do this.
yeah, I was like the dude, like, writing shit, reading shit, watching videos. And I was like,
That's
I think
pretty
you gotta
rad,
do
though.
this. Yeah, and he was like, all right, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah,
And,
he's younger brother.
Yeah, he's my younger brother.
Of course, yeah.
What was
his
his take of the
older
final batch?
brother. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
would split everything half and half initially.
Nice.
Now he's like, dude, let me get some of your homebrews. I'm like,
Eh.
they're all gone, bro. I'm sorry. I would love
Sorry,
to.
they got high street value, bro. I'm sorry.
You must have
Yeah.
missed the release in the app, dude. I'm sorry.
Is there anyone else that has an app? I mean,
As far as I could tell, there's like 7 or 8 breweries in the nation that have them that are,
Yeah.
but none of them are as cool. And
Yeah.
I could be off, but I don't really look beyond the big boys. Like Sierra Nevada they have more of a tour and food based of their app is not really the beer release app. So your guys' I think what sticks out to me is just that it's original, and we like that. We like innovation in craft beer.
super cool. Yeah, I think the
really
guys did a great job with that app, and when I saw it, I was like, oh shit, this is fucking cool, man. Like, this is new. This is hopefully going to be accepted. And I mean, there's always obviously like glitches with every new app and shit.
Of course,
we've been able to work through them, and I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the games that come up on there, and
nice.
we have some cool stuff planned for the people that earned all the points this year.
Yeah, so like similar to Untapped and other social media apps, you earn trinkets and points along the way. You gain levels, and you can literally prove your super fandom for Great Notion because you can just show the person on your phone that
I'm better than you.
Yeah, I'm a Sasquatch, huh? Exactly. So it's just really neat, and it doesn't work well for us because we can't order anything, but there's still enough content that it's a cool thing to look at. So check it out in the store if you want.
For sure.
Really cool. Let's knock out this speed round, man. We're going to keep it to the brew house that you're working in currently. I think you mentioned your brew house size was 30 barrels, correct?
Yeah.
All right. What's your physical fermentation capacity? Like, what's the total of all your tanks?
We have a lot of tanks for sure, and we're getting more in the coming months. We're about to extend the cellar floor. Right now we have 3 90-barrel fermenters. We have 4 60-barrel fermenters. I think we have 8 30-barrel fermenters and a few 30-barrel bright tanks and 1 60-barrel bright tank.
Good God.
You're moving.
Stop doing math.
We're brewing a lot of beer. It's crazy. I mean, I think we've doubled the amount of beer from last year that we produced so far this year.
That's about the same figure I heard one of your owners mention on another podcast that I listened to this week was last year around 5,000. This year you're going to be close to 10, which is, I mean, that's a pretty good leap for a year when no one is allowed inside your brewery.
Going back to number 3 or whatever we were talking about, top 3, I'm thankful for all the people that fucking show up and buy the beer, man.
That's right.
Crazy. Like, we've been selling out of all the beers, and it's insane. Like, people are just fucking awesome, man.
That's great. What's been your top selling beer this year?
There's been a lot of them. Usually the top selling beers are like the beers that you don't see that often, like Blueberry Muffin or Double Stack just dropped yesterday, and I think it's sold out in a couple hours. But we've had some that have dropped and it's sold out in minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Make more beer, basically, is what people are telling you.
Right now, I'm like, we're making enough beer with the crew that we have, man. I'm getting tired. Like, we've been going hard this whole year. We have it's me and Lara she's like my right hand brewer. We're the ones brewing almost every single batch. She's a total badass, man. Like she works harder than a lot of brewers that I know. So
Chingonas. Hell yeah.
Chingonas. I'm like, damn, if I didn't have her, shit, I'd be pretty burnt out by now. But yeah, we've been going hard. We have a new brewer in training. He's also our lead seller guy. And once we get him on deck, all trained up, it should relieve us of some of the workload for sure.
And then you get more tanks in, and then you'll be screwed again.
Yes.
I mean, hopefully if we get more tanks, we hire more people. But
yeah,
we're gonna get a new canning line, all this shit. It's gonna be nuts. We got a bunch of new bourbon barrels we were filling today.
Ooh.
Nice.
We got like this other building right across the street from us that we're gonna move all the cans and all the excess merch and stuff to, and it'll give us more room to have more barrels and more fermenters and stuff like that.
So with more cellar capacity and more canning capacity, and do you feel like there's a better chance people down here in our area might see more of your beer?
Oh, absolutely, dude. You guys will absolutely start seeing a lot more Great Notion beer down there.
That's what we care about. So thank you. Thank you.
I feel like we do see it every now and then, though. And you're just like, run. Get it.
Like, once a quarter, there's like one day you can get a few cans if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And it was the last time was about 2.5-3 months ago was the last drop we got. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see another one soon. Normally, I would expect those type of things to happen at Beer Week, but didn't this year? Beer Week was different and messed up for everyone, so who knows? Yeah, exactly. So while we're walking away, what's the favorite beer at Great Notion of yours? I know it's tough.
My closet beer is probably Double Stack.
All right.
I'm a big fan of the pastry stouts when they're fucking good. I mean,
that's right.
That was one of those beers that I had from them that just kind of blew my mind when I had it way back like 4 or 5 years ago. I was like, holy shit, this tastes like maple and coffee, and it's just perfectly balanced. It's good.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
And release at a time where pastry stouts weren't as popular as
it was like it was
more an innovation side of it. Yeah. That's cool.
Now I want pancakes.
Right? That's the liquid pancakes. I have also heard that you guys have this incredible following from the stoner population. Is that true? I mean, I'm in that popular. I'm in this group, but is it true up there? And why is it prevalent enough that it's mentioned in like every article about you guys?
I think just the Pacific Northwest in general, like the dudes like their weed, they like their craft beer, and if you're into both, like you probably know a lot of those people. Yeah, I don't really, like I said, I moved here and I got locked down. I'm like, holy shit.
Right.
So I haven't met a whole lot of the fans. I've seen some of them and they recognize me from the internet or whatever. It's been fucking cool, but I still haven't gotten to experience Portland, like Portland.
Right.
Totally get it. For the record, I read like 13, 14 articles just so that I wasn't really informed about you guys coming into the show, and at least 9 mentioned that you're just all the cat's pajamas to the pot smoking crowd.
It's a different Stone Brewing,
right? Yes, indeed. So that's good. So let's get into our number 2s. Let's start with you, Sam. What's the second thing you're thankful for this year?
Oh, I thought we already went. Okay.
That was number 3.
That was number 3.
Oh no,
that's why I said earlier. You just named like 1 through 3.
Yes, for those people, for those people we were just talking about.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, absolutely. That's cool.
I've seen them. They definitely come by, and I'm like, you smell like weed, dude, and open and shit. And,
oh my god. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with just flavors of the beers that we produce that just resonates with the weed that they smoke.
It's really awesome. You said resonates. That was really really fun. All right, Mr. Hernandez.
Resonate's got to be a beer name now,
Right?
So I just want to, having been home, I just want to thank all the people who were nice enough to come to my house and leave me beer. I cannot stress to you enough how touching it is for these companies I've worked with for a long time and reported on to take time to just be like, hey, we'll bring beer your way for this article, or I feel so bad for you. We love you. I'm just going to send you a couple of beers. That's really nice. And then I have friends as well. So if you'll indulge me, I want to read this list off because I don't think people believe the kindness that here. So just for people who are friends, obviously there's Brian, who's brought beer to my house a lot. He's sick of my house, I'm sure. Estella's done the same. Abel and Danielle, Maggie, Colby Chandler, Ian Cheeseman, who brought me eggs, not beer, but that's okay.
Cheese.
He brought you something.
Chris Leguizamo and Peter Rowe. Peter Rowe came to my house. He's just like, man. But then on the brewery side, these are all the breweries that found a way to get me beer because they knew I was home. Abnormal, Alesmith, Amplified, Athletic, Ballast Point, Bay City, Bear Roots, Belching Beaver, Black Plague, Bolt, Booze Brothers, Border X, Virgin, Burning Beard, California Wild Ales, Chula Vista, Emboldened Beer, Epig, Five Suits, Home Brewing, Hopnonymous, Carl Strauss, Kilowatt, The Lost Abbey, Mason Ale Works, Michelini, My Yard Live, New English, Novo, Northern Pine, Pizza Port, Pure Project, Rip Current, Ruler, Savage Wood, Society Stone, Tap Room, and White Labs. I mean,
Why aren't we just hanging out at his house, guys? What are we doing?
First of all, what happened to the other half of those breweries that didn't? Okay, that's one thing you look out for.
You ain't on that list.
And this is when people are dealing with real stuff that they got to get done, and the hardest times. But craft beer industry, it's the reason why we podcast about it. The compassion, the authenticity behind it. It's just you can't ask to be in a better industry and with better people, and that's what keeps us all wanting to be talking to all these breweries. Like, we know you guys are awesome. We want other people to understand how awesome you are, and that's why I wanted to read that list. Just be like, wow, just wow. But
I was just gonna say, real quick, not to interrupt, but before craft beer, I didn't really have a whole lot of friends. Dude. I had a small group of friends. I didn't really know that many people, and then I started doing the whole craft beer thing, and I met tons of people, and I was like, holy shit, I love this, dude. This is so cool. So, I can definitely relate to the sentiment you have right now with the people that came through and brought you beer and shit.
I resemble that remark. I didn't have a ton of folks either, and then it's just, but once you get in, you can't get out. Everyone's just so nice.
Nope.
For sure.
Get you like claws, and you're in, you're stuck. I mean, it's a good
in the
stuck,
best way.
But you're still stuck. Yes, indeed. Abel, how about you, sir?
To kind of go off that a little bit, I'm very thankful as me in the service industry. All the service industry people that are fighting hard and dealing with what's going on, the ups and downs of being open, closed, having the indoor, outdoor.
Yeah.
Your bartenders, your beer tenders, your waiters, your cooks, your waitresses, the hosts, they're all struggling. And I'm very thankful for them for sticking through it, having the patience and dealing with what I call mask holes throughout this whole thing. So I am very thankful for them, and I'm thankful for that for the people that come into Society Brewing and tip us big, talk with us, understand the rules, and they'll obey the rules. And even though it bothers them, because trust me, I hate wearing a mask just as much as you do, but I have to wear mine for 8 hours, maybe 10 hours a day. So it's like, I get it. So I'm very thankful for that, the patience from majority of the people here in San Diego. I'm not sure how it is in Portland. I'm not sure how it is in other states, in other cities, but it is very thankful for you guys. So
that's good, man. That's a good sentiment. And society has been the exception to the rule. I mean, you guys went above and beyond in general, and then every time I've been there, mostly to bring you beer or pick up beer, the clientele is really on point and it is doing their part to keep everyone safe. And so
Yeah.
it's not the same at every brewery, but you guys are doing really good. Estella, what you got for us?
My number 2 is everybody that's come to Mujeres. Honestly, since we opened Mujeres Brew House, it's like I still can't believe how many people are coming, and now I'm afraid I'm going to run out of beer.
The only problem you want?
Good problem to
Yeah,
have.
yeah. But yeah, since day one, just like everybody has come and just like represented, and they're just there for me, and I can't thank all these people enough, especially during a pandemic, and being cool about it, and being outside even though they're cold, and doing all of that. It's crazy. So I'm just really appreciative that like everybody has embraced Mujeres Brew House, and
So
hopefully
I
I
gotta try your
can
guys' beer.
give us 22 days. 22 days. But yeah. So honestly, like please come visit me like whenever you guys want. I work my day job Monday through Friday, and then I'm at the brewery Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, please come.
So if I'm adding that up, you get Thorns Day and Quick's Day off?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I feel like sneezing sometimes just so they'll be like, hey, go home.
I'm sorry. You have a symptom.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, that's good. So my number 2 is similar in heart to what all of you are talking about. It's just I'm thankful for the good humans. The internet is full of the mask holes and the dick fucks and all the people that we shouldn't be listening to right now. But if you look past the loud, if you look past the screamies, we have a very good ratio of good humans in our planet, in our city, in our craft beer community that are being very helpful and supportive. And I am very thankful for all the good humans, and especially just a second bump to the good humans that have already donated to the San Diego Beer Holiday Food Drive. This year's very different than years past. We can't do a physical food drive, so it's all virtual. Check out our social media for the link. But the San Diego Food Drive is amazingly efficient, or the San Diego Food Bank is amazingly efficient. For every dollar donated, they can provide 5 meals. If you donate $25, we'll send you an Indie Beer Show sticker. If you donate $50, we'll send you an Indie Beer Show T-shirt from Craft Beard. If you remember Rudy, who
Look
was
at that thing
here earlier,
it's beautiful.
Well, that's an Indie Beer Show shirt, but I mean an Indie Beer shirt from Craft Beard. Slightly different.
Yeah.
If you don't remember,
got it. Yes,
it was back when it's okay. It's right.
Rudy.
And then
They're limited edition, you guys. Limited edition. Can't even buy them anymore.
No, it's cellared. They don't exist anymore. There's a private allotment that I have cellared for 2 years.
That sounds a lot better, yeah.
Brian.
Vintage.
Yes, sir.
What are the dates on the drive? Just
so they run from now. It runs from now till the first of the year. So you have plenty of time to donate. Social media campaigns will be getting more intense as we get deeper into the year.
And remember, folks, it's all the social media. It's all online. Don't come to society.
Don't come to society with food.
We're not doing anything in society. Yeah.
Although, if you are in Kearney Mesa near Society and you have food to donate, the San Diego Food Bank is like 2 miles away from Society. It's very close, and you can donate to them directly. There are going to be a hodgepodge of some physical donations and some not within our city. The ones that are taking physical donations, they're basically letting things sit in the sun, for UV stabilization, to let things kind of chill out and make sure that everything is safe for 3 or 4 days before they're donating it to the food bank. So right now, this year especially, money is more important, and
but like you said, money they can use more efficiently, correct?
Way better than any of it. Like I said, they could do 5 meals for every $1 donated, which I don't know how they're making a meal for 20 cents, but thank you for being able to do that and help feed people.
They purchase in bulk.
and they make profit in volume. Yes, indeed. So thank you to the good humans out there. Now let's jump into our most complicated segment, which is called What We Drank. And it's where we talk about the beer we drank before we jumped on the show. I'm going to go first. I got brought a beer by a patron Casey.
Hey,
cool.
So
nice.
Casey works at Jimbo's, one of the Mug Club members, and they just did a collaboration with Pure Project. Protector. The logo right in front of me.
Yeah.
They're an organic brewery, which is important to Jimbo's. Jimbo's is an organic produce store, and they used persimmon and made a persimmon hazy deepa. Fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Massive fruit presence. Persimmon's a tough fruit. It's similar to strawberry. When trying to get the actual flavor of the fruit into beer, you just kind of get this just a random fruitiness with tart until you kind of cross this weird threshold when all of a sudden persimmon's punching you in the face. That's where this one is. Got a little sweetness from the fruit. Very enjoyable and super easy drinking, again, for a double IPA. So thank you, Protector. Thank you more to Casey, Mug Club member.
Hey.
Very awesome of you. All right, Estelle. That's you, lady. Ooh, capital of craft.
It's still available. I'm still drinking it. So, yeah, I had to drink a couple more of those. So, it was that and La Casa Verde, the IPA that we made with 3 Punk Ales. It was both of those. So yeah. But yes.
And if you guys don't know, Capital of Craft is the annual collaboration of the San Diego Brewers Guild to support the Guild and San Diego Beer Week. Those are the 11 breweries that participated. Virgin, actually sponsored part of the beer in a little bit of a bigger way. All right, Abel, how about you, sir?
You guys saw earlier, I sent you a photo of where I was at.
Yes.
So I had the little sneak preview. Got a called Rewriting History, Juicy West Coast IPA. It's got some Nelson, some Vic in it. It kind of has that very citrus, mango, kind of really crisp, clean taste to it.
Okay.
I also had their Pilsner. I'm trying to remember the name of it right now. Let's see. I think I have it somewhere around here. But then, and also their IPA. So their IPA was called Creature of Habit. Their Pilsner was called Original Sin. And then I decided, because I had to leave to do this little podcast show, and so I had to get a half pour of something really quick.
Podcast.
And so I got a half
waste
pour.
of time. You'll never get rich doing that.
I was going to say, what?
Well, then again, I had to drive down the 805 too, and it was like a 30-minute drive because of traffic. So, but I had a Words of Wisdom. It is a pastry stout that they do with banana, cocoa, and vanilla wafers.
Okay.
So
that ended better than I thought.
Yes.
Anytime
there was no coconut. There was no coconut in it, so you're okay, Brian.
Okay, that's good. But banana beers normally are a little weird, but that one sounds like it might be pretty good.
Actually, it was a little sweet. It was on the sweet end, but it was it's really good. I mean, kind of think almost like a banana pudding type. That's what I kind of got out of it. So
cool.
Okay.
But yes, emboldened. What's that?
How are you even standing? What I drank before the show. Well, let me tell you about the 17 beers.
Well, that was an hour ago. I won't tell you what I drank before that.
All right, that's right. All right, Mr. Hernandez.
Well, I knew we were going to have a German Pilsner to start, so I had another German Pilsner from local here. I'll admit, I'm not really about can art, but sometimes you just need a dog in your life. So it kind of worked out on 2 levels, but it's from Bay City, and just a nice, straightforward German Pils, easy going, just not too. It's not quite as I would say, as traditionally crisp on the finish as Great Notions was, but all the other flavor points were kind of right in concert with that. So it was a nice way to start out and then go to yours and just get right into the show. So very nice.
Awesome, man. That's rad.
And there was a dog.
Yes, an adorable dog.
Adorable.
Very important. Sam, what was the last beer you drank before jumping on the show with us?
I think I showed you earlier.
Was it the 6?
The 6.
All right, that's cool.
I'm currently drinking this. This is like our dry hop version of, I would say, Ledge, but it's like fruity hops, like Citra usually, and the last one was Citra Galaxy. This one is Citra El Dorado.
Nice.
We've been pretty stoked on this one. So it still has like juicy elements, but it's a crispy. So You get
Right
the
on.
best of both worlds.
Very cool.
Sweet.
Very
Awesome.
I love it. Let's now talk about Apricult, the beer that got you the job. Let's we'll make Brandon be our model here since he was ready. The can art is just like I said, on point. Their
Oh
stuff
my
is great.
Yeah.
So break this beer down for us, and how did this end up being the one that got you the job, man?
Apricot is a sour IPA. It's a weird style, right? Who makes that shit? I mean,
Very few people.
I'm like, we made one.
oh,
Yeah.
cool. That's awesome. You know, like, 'cause most people are like, "What the fuck is that?" And then,
Yeah.
So we kind of took like a hazy IPA base and we turned it sour and we added fruit to it. We added apricots to this one and tangerine. A lot more apricot than tangerine, and then a tiny bit of milk sugar to kind of balance out that tartness. And yeah, it's dry hopped with Citra only. So it takes a little bit of Citra on the hot side and a big dose of Citra in the dry hop. It's a cool, interesting beer, I think. I like it a lot. I mean,
Fruit explosion.
It's
Yeah.
more than cool
Yeah.
and interesting. This beer is phenomenal, man.
so it was kind of like I was going for like a mimosa type of beer, you know, like a spin on a mimosa.
You hit it.
in a
Yep.
beer.
Hit it.
The first time we did it at the OG Brew Pub at the 7 Barrel Brew House. And this is before I worked at Great Notion. I was working at that brewery in Newport. And that guy was cool with me doing like my side project and going and collabing with people. And because I was already friends with the guys at Great Notion, they were like, yeah, come up and do a beer with us. Even though it was only in the small system, I was still like, holy shit, this is crazy, man. I'm collabing with Great Notion.
That's rad.
Yeah, so I went over there and did that, and they crowlered most of it. They put most of it in crowlers, and they were limiting people to like 1 or 2 crowlers a day until it sold out. And so that happened, and I was like, cool. When that happened, thought it was over. You know, like cool. I met the guys. I really got to know them. I'm gonna go back to my pad now. Keep doing my shit. And then they were like, hey, we're gonna bring that beer back at the production facility. We're gonna can it this time. We need a label for it. Like, what character do you want on the label? And I was like, man, dude, I want the half man, half goat. Like,
why wouldn't you?
I'm like, that's a cool ass fucking mythical character, you know.
Absolutely.
And then James, the brewer there, came up with the name Apricult, and I was like, that's perfect, super cool. So we canned it. It got released, and there was people lined up for it. It was fucking cool. I was like, yes. And when that happened, one of the owners was like, kind of jokingly throwing shit out there. He's like, you should come work for us. And I was like, I gotta go try this thing at Newport and see if that works out. But I'll think about it. Like, don't forget about me. And
keep my resume on file.
Yeah. And he already knew of Brujos and all that stuff. And he was like, yeah, dude, we need someone like you here. And I thought about it. I went back to my other job. And then the other brewer, the other owner was like, I think he texted me one day. He's like, what is it going to take to get you here? And I was like,
wow.
Like, these guys really want me to work for them. So I started really thinking about it, talking about it with my wife, because we had just moved to Oregon, and moving sucks. You know, moving from Cali to Oregon is
horrible, I bet.
Yeah. Not only did we move once, like we moved to Newport, and when we were in Newport, we ended up having to move all our shit to another house, because the house that we moved into, the guy that was renting it to us, which was my boss at the time, he was like, dude, I need to do some work on this house. I might sell it. I have a friend that's renting this other house. You can move there. And I'm like, fuck, man, I just moved here 6 months ago. Like, you know how fucking much this sucks, like moving all your stuff again. So
why didn't it work out? Yeah.
Yeah. So I moved from that house to the other house. And then that's when I was talking to Great Notion. And then Great Notion was like, here's our offer, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Not that Newport wasn't cool and all that, but it's
not Portland.
It's a very lonely place, man. Like, there's a lot of like elderly people, and just like there's no fucking there's no craft beer scene there, man. Like, the guy bought a system that was too big for the town.
Oh.
And
You're like, I'm not sticking around to become one of you elderly weirdos. I'm out.
man, and like everyone there was like probably in their 60s and shit, 50s.
Yeah.
And then there was a small young crowd, which I mean I didn't really get to know because I left so quick. I mean, who wouldn't leave? You know, Great Notion's like, yo, like come work for us. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That'd be like someone in LA or something like, yo, like you're working at this brewery, Monkish wants to hire you. They would leave in a heartbeat.
Right. Okay, so for those who don't know about Brujos, can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I think we all know what that is, but I don't think a lot of people know what that is. So
that's a little side project I've been working on for 5-6 years now. It's just beers I make at home. You know, when I started making them, like I told you like earlier, I broke my feet, blah blah blah. Got into brewing. I was like immediately obsessed with brewing. I was like, this is so fucking cool. Like, started buying the bottles and bottling my beers, and then I was like, I need to put a label on these. So I started labeling all my home brews, just with art from friends. Like Steven Suter is an OG friend of mine that started doing some of the Brujos labels. He does all the art for Sour Cellars now. So yeah, I started putting labels on home brews. Gave it a name. My dad was like, he watched us brewing. We were brewing a batch of, I think it was a stout, like a milk stout or something, on my driveway one time. My brother and I, he was like, parecen brujitos haciendo toloache.
Hells yes!
And I was like, wait, what'd you say? And he was like, this is when I still didn't have a name for it. And I was like, holy shit, that's kind of cool. And I thought about it that night, and I was like, Brujos, like no one has that fucking name. I looked it up everywhere.
Right.
I was like,
That's
boom,
right.
I'm calling the project Brujos.
It's also awesome to come up with a name that no one has on the fucking internet.
It was
Good job.
I mean, I guess I just jumped on it. You know what's funny? You guys know about Fauna in
duh. Yeah.
So when I met Luis Larios, who's the head brewer / one of the owners at the brewery, he told me, he was like, that was a name we were considering before we went with Fauna. And I was like, oh,
really?
shit. And then I got to do a beer with that guy. We did a triple IPA, like
super, that's rad.
Super murky, hazy triple IPA back in fucking 2000.
Yeah.
2016 or something, before like they were really
4 years ago. That's insane.
Yeah, before they were really blowing up. I mean, I was obsessed with the hazies. I was like, why filter them? There's so much more flavor when they're not filtered. But I mean, I could go on for days about the project, but
it's a weird thing that filtering beer was like the standard. Yeah. And you would have to hop your beer early on in IPA history. You would have to hop your beer so heavily that after the filter you had massively hoppy beer. But like the beers that we brew today would be devastated by a plate filter. Holy shit! They would strip all the aromatics out of the beers that we know and love today.
We centrifuge every single beer you tried today.
Yeah, centrifuge is great for the style of beer you do.
We run every single beer through our centrifuge, lagers or hazies. Our hazies stay hazy even after the centrifuge, so it's not really a yeast thing.
No, you have a bonded protein because of your techniques, especially dry hopping under fermentation. It helps a lot with that.
Yeah, massive dry hops, a lot of protein. And this is why well, we'll get to this part next. I think you were going to ask me about.
Well, no, I was going to say I used to do this segment before COVID called Estelas Cheves, where I would bring the guys beers from Mexico. And I remember the Fauna beer that I brought them. That was one of their favorites.
Yes.
Because Fauna made the anniversary beer for the city. So I happened to get my hands on a couple of bottles of that, and I brought it for the guy. It was the anniversary for Mexicali.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Okay, it was.
Cool.
It was. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm a huge fan, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it had a name. I think it just was like Aniversario Mexicali or some shit like that. But yeah, so that was one of the beers that the guys liked the most, actually. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yep.
I miss when you brought us those cool beers. That was really fun.
Yeah. That was fun. I enjoyed them.
Well, when COVID's over, I'll start heading down there again, guys.
Yeah, it's a little tough right now.
Yeah.
But so, we've got Apricot, I would say, is kind of in this pocket of overly fruited, sugared, super dry hop sours. This is actually kind of a timid one from Great Notion.
Yeah.
That showing exceptional balance compared to some of the other ones.
I actually got to brew this one, so thank you. I'm like,
that's right. But again, in a lot of the articles and research I was doing, your fruited super tarts beers are outselling your IPAs currently. Is that true?
Yeah. There's so many hazies out there now. It's like hard to make those like exciting now. You know, I feel like everyone's done every combination of every single fucking hop out there. So we started brewing more sour beers with fruits and adjuncts and different flavors, and they took off. And yeah, I would say right now they're still kind of our top sellers. Some more than others, obviously.
Yeah, of course. There's ones that are going to stick harder, but
yeah, like there's like the blueberry muffin that just fucking people go ape shit over every single time they drop it. It's super cool.
It sounds pretty appealing. Blueberry muffin.
Yeah, I mean it tastes like what it's called.
That's rad, man.
We don't have soup plantation anymore, so that'd be really
Yeah,
nice.
there you go.
So, any Surgeon General warnings on the side of your can? Must keep cryogenically frozen to avoid shrapnel. A lot of these styles of beers are known in from some breweries to be what we call to be what we call grenades, and they're actually because they fruit them and they don't treat them properly to a point that if you let them be warm at room temperature for a couple weeks, you literally could have a bomb in your hand. So what about your beers? Are your guys' beers shelf stable? What do you do to make sure the safety of the public is considered? Yeah. Nope, they're very dangerous, Brian. That's why we're on a podcast talking about them.
No, they're shelf stable for sure. I mean, we've had some of these beers sit on top of the boiler just for us to determine whether they are or not. And
wow.
We haven't seen any of them explode or anything.
No
like
explosions?
That. We haven't seen any significant change in like carbonation levels either, which
that's big with the level of fruit and sugar you guys go to.
Well, really like I said, we use a centrifuge for most beers, which strips out most
the
of
solids.
Most of the solids from the beer, which is why our fruited sours aren't like puree, you know, like they're fruity and they have all this flavor, but they don't look like puree. Some people are against that. We're all for it. Like our beers are never going to look like that. They're never going to look like Jamba Juice, you know, in a can. And we also use a very specific yeast strain for these beers that has a very hard time re-fermenting after it's done its primary fermentation.
Ooh, that's a good advantage.
That on top of centrifuging it, it's like there's really no chance of it exploding or re-fermenting in the can, which I think is cool. I think the yeast strain we use is super fucking unique. I don't think a lot of people really know about it, but
that's awesome. Yeah. Are you allowed to share the yeast strain with us, or is it like proprietary?
Yeah, it's probably.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
His first and last podcast ever.
I get it. There are trade secrets, and then
for sure. That's definitely one of our trade secrets. I mean, like I said, I don't know a whole lot of people who know about it or that use it. So.
Well, and you'd be amazed how many breweries don't just use Cal Ale yeast. You know, when people are looking for a competitive advantage, you know, when there's 4 main ingredients, yeast is a big one. And there's a lot of unique and also lesser known yeast strains that provide a lot more flavor into our beer than we are expecting from yeast.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. We've kind of mentioned just how shitty this fucking year has been because of COVID. So for you guys, what restrictions have you been operating under, you know, leading up to the recent surge, and how has that changed things up in Oregon with our country just like, I guess, giving up the fight against COVID is what it seems like this week. It's been crazy, but how's it been for you guys in Oregon?
Well, what color tier are you in?
Yeah, they don't have tiers.
They don't mess around with the colors over there.
You guys don't have colors?
Colorblind.
They don't have colors. It's just all green. It's just all green. It's all green in Portland, in Oregon. It's just all green, bro.
We've taken this whole thing very seriously since the beginning. You know, we're all required to wear a mask at work. We get our temperature checked daily when we come in, sometimes throughout the day. We try to tell people that work for us, you know, to stay at home, and if you're gonna go and hang out with friends that you see frequently or you live with. No traveling, really. We don't allow that right now. Like, if you're gonna leave the state on a flight and you come back, you're not allowed to come back to work for 2 weeks, or you got to get tested before you come back. Yeah, man. I mean, the mask, everything. It's overwhelming sometimes, you know, like wearing a mask while you're working in a brewery.
It's tough.
It's tough, man. Like, you feel like you're suffocating sometimes, but I mean, you could bring it down a little bit, breathe, and put it back on when you're close to your coworkers. But I mean, yeah, we're on a 2-week freeze right now, which means most businesses can only sell stuff to go, like us. Like, we were having people start to come back to the brew pubs, like the Alberta OG brew pub. Like, people were able to reserve a table and go and drink beers and order food and or bring in food from outside. But now that we're on this freeze for 2 weeks, we're back to just selling beer to go, and like, you come in and you go, or if you have the app, which is super convenient, you buy the shit on the app, you show up, you show them the ticket, they have your beer ready for you, and you just grab it right away.
That's cool.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And that's how I have operated since March, is the to-go purchase model. I have overly supported my favorite breweries
Same
just
here,
because
man.
they fucking need it.
Yeah,
But I'm also
yeah.
very afraid of this disease, and so I have not been drinking at establishments or eating at establishments. I've just been buying to-go food, and DoorDash fucking loves me. I'll just leave it at that.
They know your name and shit by now.
They know exactly where I am and who I am. That's for fucking sure. I just and luckily the virus can't be transmitted by cardboard boxes, or Amazon would have given me fucking COVID about 150 times by now.
Yeah.
Because
Dude, I remember when this whole shit first took off, my wife and I were just fucking spraying everything with alcohol. Like cardboard boxes and all this shit, like super paranoid, like back when anthrax was a thing, like you might get an envelope of anthrax in the mail, watch out.
Yeah. Because someone's going to spend all the money for anthrax for you.
Yeah. I remember that shit as a kid, like, what? People are mailing anthrax envelopes? That's insane, dude.
It was pretty shitty. But yes. That's great. So you guys decided to overdo, and we do enjoy when breweries decide to overdo and send us a fourth beer. We don't ask for it. Sometimes it just happens, and that's what happened here.
We appreciate it.
We really do. It's called Baked, and why don't you here, we'll make a Stella model, and why don't you tell us what we're putting in our face currently, because it's fucking delicious.
You were talking about the stoner population.
Yeah.
Oh, look at her eyes, dude.
Yeah. And naturally, I like it.
We're very aware of the fact.
I thought she was just tired.
It could be the fact that she's been baking all day and she's tired as shit.
Right there. She stayed up all night baking it, bro.
Yeah.
It's either that or, you hit a little bit of the ganj.
A little?
Yeah. We have another character, I think. It's like we did a collab with the other half. It's like the female Sasquatch in the prom dress with the broccoli, and they both look stunningly straight. It's hilarious. But yeah, this beer is kind of our take on a peach pie, if you will. So it's peach heavy. There's a little bit of cinnamon in there, not a lot. Some of our fans like either love or hate the cinnamon, so we went subtle with it. And there's a little bit of vanilla in it as well.
The peach and the vanilla stand out. Cinnamon's kind of a supporting in the background type of thing.
Yeah.
Am I correct in that one of the members of your staff came from Rare Barrel?
Yeah, Rob is our production manager. He's a fucking badass. He's
It
like the coolest dude I've ever worked for. He's like my boss, you know. Ever since COVID hit, the bosses have kind of been away at home, working from home, and Rob kind of stepped it up, and he's our production manager, so he had to, you know. He was the one I had the interview with, and he was like, "This is what I need from you," blah blah blah, and we just clicked right away. And I mean, he came from Rare Barrel. He has so much knowledge as far as sour beer goes. And,
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
well, and
I'm digging this.
absolutely. Well, the reason why I was asking
This
was
is friggin' delicious. So good.
it reminds me of a Rare Barrel beer. It was called Home Sour Home,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this
I
is
had that.
more approachable, I think, for the general public. So
For
if you
sure.
guys
Yeah, way less
if you
fun.
guys aren't familiar with Rare Barrel, they are on the extreme side of acidity and funk
Yeah.
with their beers. This is more approachable for the generic person that is, wanting a sour tart beer, but also get these the pie type of experience out of it at the same time. You've hit this crazy perfect triangle here with tart, fruit, vanilla, and sweetness, man.
I really like this beer.
I'm a fucking fan.
Yeah, I really like it. It's a new series for us, so we're gonna be doing baked with. Obviously, this was peach, and then there's other ones in the works that we're talking about.
Well,
really
I just want to take
flavor
1
yet.
second to say, you guys make fucking great beer. Thank you for sending us an extra one, especially. But let's catch up with some of our audience. Maggie asked what our top 3 was this week, and we told her it was things we were thankful for. Hamilton's, and Brandon will get to this soon in the news, but tragic news coming out of Hamilton's in South Park just 2 days ago. It really sucks. Estella getting a little thanking gratitude from her community. It's really special what you and Carmen have been able to do with Mujeres, Estella, and I hope you're feeling that, and I hope the love that you're receiving on your initial soft opening has been filling your heart, because when you guys start cranking out beer here in, what did you say, 22 days, I believe
22 days. Yeah.
All right. So
Give or take,
yeah,
guys. Give or
but
take.
that means that Sam
Don't
is going
hold her to it. That'd be wrong.
That means you're starting to brew now, or you're brewing in 22 days.
Already.
You're brewing now. The beers will be ready. That's fucking rad. So you got
Fermentation Nation.
You've got beer in the tank. So right now, if you visit Mujeres, you are drinking the collaboration beers that she made with other breweries.
Yeah.
And it sounds like
we finished the one that we made with Hopnonymous, but I acquired one more keg, so that'll be on this weekend. So if you love that sour double IPA that has pink guava and raspberries, go this weekend, because it's one keg left.
We really liked it. Hello, Nick. This is actually my employee who shows up every now and then. That's rad.
He shows up every now and then at work or on the show.
He's much more dependable at work. He shows up.
Okay, I just want to clarify.
Every now and then. Yeah. No, he's a good
But he
dude.
drinks beer there too, so it's good.
Yes, yeah.
Every now and then.
He works his ass off. He's a good guy. The other Brandon, fan Brandon, not show drinking Thorn, and moved on to Cellarmaker. Nice.
That Father Larry's is bomb. That's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Cellarmaker is a really good brewery,
Yeah,
so keep those
really good
going.
brewery. Yeah.
Mary Jane, praise to you, lady.
Hi, girl.
And check
Hey,
your
girl,
freaking
hey.
messages.
Hey, girl, hey.
You owe me an answer. The internet. Look at that. Isn't that fun? We've got a cheers for Brujos, and it's dead.
He's like, never mind him. That's my brother.
Come on, internet. Come back. Be nice to me.
Did we lose Brian?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, no.
We'll just keep going.
He's
What I
looks
was
like-
going to
He
say,
looks so
Frozen in
contemplative,
time.
though.
I know, look at him. He's
I feel like
concentrating.
I could just.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
What I
yeah.
was going to tell you guys, though, is we have one keg
So
of the Black is
I don't know if you
Beautiful.
can hear me at all.
Yeah, we can
Oh,
hear
we can hear
We
you.
can hear you.
Yeah, we have one keg of the Black is Beautiful that we made with Ballast Point and
Awesome.
Kilowatt, and
nice.
we're gonna put that on starting December, is because our grand opening is December 12th, so we'll put that on starting December. So you guys
That's awesome.
can try that. It's
And
the
that beer was
last.
good. I remember that.
Did
It's
you
the
guys stick
last
with
keg.
the OG recipe, or did you change it up at all, or did you adjunct it?
That you have to talk to Cosmo on that because Cosmo and Brandon, you might know a little more about that because when I joined the project, I was just kind of like, I'm just here to help
So
you guys. Yeah.
they went off of a spin-off of another charity beer that they did. They had Cafe Du Monde coffee from
Mhm.
New Orleans. So they kind of went that route. It's a lower ABV than the I think the original Imperial Stout, but it was really tasty. We got to have it on the show, so it was really
Cool.
good stuff. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I was just happy I got invited to be there. So
It looked like a hell of a fun day. I mean, like seriously, it's like all these great people. You know, what's like collabs,
yeah,
especially like a mega collab, because I would call that kind of a mega collab.
yeah,
You know,
there
all
was
these
a
great
lot of
people getting together for good cause. Forget about it. It was great.
yeah.
They
And
social
Cole,
distance,
yep,
but did media for it, like great
yeah,
social media assets for it, where they're all standing together, but they all took separate pictures with people on
individual
different
pictures.
marks, and then put them all together. It was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. It was, and Colby made me play disc golf, which I'd never done in my life.
So
So
fun, so fun.
I was
Oh,
like,
that disc golf.
okay. Oh,
Oh, the
you guys.
internet.
By the way, I saw good. By the way, real quick,
Real
I
quick.
was on Ballast Point's podcast yesterday. Colby had a crowler of watermelon Dorado just for me. And he drank it.
That's awesome.
He
I lo-
drank it. It was it was perfect. It was perfect.
I love when you said, guess what's in, guess what this is.
Yeah.
No need to guess. Sorry, we all know. It's all.
All those watermelon emojis that came out. That's like the only time anybody ever uses a watermelon emoji was for Estella.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
First time for everything.
Drink what you like. Drink what
Yeah.
you like.
I stand by my answer still. I'm not changing it.
No, I will not fight you. I won't fight you.
So what do we got in the news today, Brandon?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take care of the news while the IT department does their thing. All right. So there's actually
It's
quite a
really
bit of
fun
news.
to just randomly have to switch to my phone in the middle of a show. I love it.
I'm so jealous of you right now. I mean,
I have one right here
but,
just in case it went out. I'm like,
so usually I feel a little bit guilty talking about San Diego beer news when we have a guest from outside of San Diego, but this guy is so in tune with all the people and has so many friends down here that maybe this will actually be kind of fun. All right, so okay, the first news story will not be all that fun, but going back to Hamilton, so yesterday, the early morning, 5:30-ish, firefighters were called out to Hamilton's to put out a fire that was did significant damage. It broke out in the cafe kitchen area of Hamilton's Tavern, but also did damage to Hamilton's as well as South Park Brewing, the brew pub right next door that's owned, of course, by the same person, Scott Blair. There's a lot of investigation as to how it could have started. Nobody really knows that, but luckily nobody was in there. Nobody got hurt, and they were able to put it out. They're estimating about $1 million damage, and Scott's going to meet with insurance adjusters, people like that, find out what it will take to either go forward or whatever else he might do. But he seems very determined, having spoken to him, to hopefully be able to go forward, get it back in business, get everything going again, and then give everybody, the place that they have loved for so long. It had been closed, Hamilton's, for a while, but South Park was still in operation and doing what they could. So that's where we're at with that right now. And the weird part of it, the coincidence of it all, is that Small Bar the week before had closed, which is another place that he had put a lot of work into. Yeah. Like all three of these ventures with his with Karen Barnett, who they used to be married, and they pour their heart and souls into these operations, and just to have it all happen within 1 week is just so
brutal. So 2020. So
exactly.
2020.
It's very hashtag 2020. Yeah. But at any rate, people are giving their support, showing these people how much they love that place, and there's multiple different fundraising campaigns set up online. So check those out. Be real wise about which ones you support, probably, but people care about that place, and let's hope that something good can come about. Like it can get back to what it was, or at least something good can happen for the people who put so much into it and the people who enjoyed it so much. In happier news, Epic Brewing up in Vista. They were the lone recipient of an award at the European Beer Star Awards that just took place, and the announcement came out last week. They won a gold for 1045 Denver IPA in the New Style India Pale Ale category. This is their second year in a row winning an award. Last year, they won a silver for Glitz and Glam, the Fruited Berliner Weiss, and they kept the streak alive for San Diego because every year we win one award for the last 3 years. 3 years ago, it was Society. You'll love this, Abel. The Mistress, Hoppy Pilsner. Don't make it anymore, but it was still a good beer. And it was in, I believe, New World Pilsner or Lager. But so it's 3 years in a row. But only 20-some breweries won at the European Beer Star this year, and there's hundreds of awards. So pretty good. Not far from Epic, Booze Brothers, they are going into kind of the food business. They're going to have Pizza Brothers, which is basically having a culinary staff working in the kitchen off-site to prep food and then bring it over to Booze Brothers, where they're going to have an imported, brand-new wood-fired Italian oven that they put out on the patio with a nice facade that's branded out to like Pizza Brothers, where you order. And then they do all the real work of like getting the good crust on it and everything. They're going to have pizzas, meatballs, salads, and breadsticks to start out. But then they're going to go crazy directions with a lot of the pizzas, but they'll have traditional things too. But apparently the Booze Brothers, which are the two brothers who founded the business, they worked in pizza restaurants and also have just an affinity for it. And that they, one of them does like a pizza night with his neighbor all the time and just comes up with all these great combinations. So hopefully that'll be really fun for them. And who knows, it could even expand to some of their other locations. But they're going to start out at their Vista headquarters, which is on Progress Street in Vista.
Yep.
Should be a lot of fun. Great place to go. Back when COVID didn't limit everything. So more good news. Pure Project Brewing out in Miramar. They also have Carlsbad and Baker's Hill outlets. They have been certified as climate neutral, a climate neutral business, which is really great.
Huge.
It means that they've offset their carbon footprint, but they've actually gone a step further. They don't have their certification for this yet, but they do. They've gone through all the work to get it, but they're actually a carbon regenerative business in that they've also taken into account all the carbon put out by their employees and nullified all of that as well.
Wow.
They are really setting the
That's
standard.
rad.
A very environmentally conscious, eco-friendly brewery in general that just kind of like has a great ethos about like treating their staff right. They're doing all the right things these days. They were named one of the best 100 places to work in San Diego recently, and their staff just bleeds whatever color Pure Project is. From what I can see, it's kind of like a teal or a sea blue.
Yes, but, somewhere in there.
Yeah, but things are going well. Another thing that's kind of new here, Benchmark's Old Bay Park tasting room is going to be taken over by Harlan Brewing. They're based in Scripps Ranch. They have another place over at One Paseo in Del Mar Highlands, but they're going to be taking that place over, and more details coming soon. I'm talking to the folks over there, but they haven't even told their staff yet. So
that's
amazing. Early.
And I built that tasting room, so
say what?
I'm. It's just the facts.
So it's great, sturdy as the day is long.
I will say it will service them well. For Harlan, they might have to upgrade the cold box because it was a real small like 6x8, and Harlan's got some fucking beers. You know, they could fill up the tap list really easily. But I mean, it's a 14 tap system, and a really simple bar to maintain. Like, we built it specifically to be easy to clean, prep, and serve. And so congratulations to Harlan for picking up that tasting room. I think the location's great, right off of Morena, especially it's 3 blocks from the next trolley station in San Diego. So they're extending the line from Old Town to La Jolla, and it goes literally, the tracks go right in front of this location, and it's only like 2 blocks from the station. So you could take someday when the project's complete, you'll be able to take the trolley to Harlan.
Brian,
And
do
we
they
were-
have a good space, like an outdoor space? Or-
Okay,
No.
I can't legally discuss the outdoor space at that facility.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
they have a back patio that's extensive, but was never. The thing about that location, and we love Benchmark big time. It was really sad because they got strung along so long and never really got to do all the things they wanted to do. They had to open in such a bare bones fashion that we never got to see their real vision for that place.
Their vision was immensely awesome, and it was tough for all of us involved. Like we were, it started off originally as going to be like a $600,000 build out and have this huge beer garden in the back, and that's why I can't really talk about the beer garden because it wasn't ever built yet. It was used. So, but for Harlan, there's a lot of opportunity for someone that has the capital that they appear to have to finish out the space to its original, what do you call that, potential. And then there could be the potential of about 2,800 square feet of outdoor beer, what would be considered outdoor beer garden. So there's walls, but there's no roof. So that would be considered outdoors by the current ruling of what is indoor or outdoor. So I hope that is where they're going with it, because then you would have a private outdoor space where you could enjoy Harlan beers. It'd be really cool at a great location.
Yeah, and more details for sure to come on the San Diego Beer News. We're talking with them, so we'll find out the details. It'll be really fun. So if that is breaking news, then this is breaking to Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, yes.
This story will come up online tomorrow on the San Diego Beer News.
Reference.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad somebody gets it. That's really good. Electric Boogaloo. But this story will come up tomorrow morning on San Diego Beer News. But a new brewery that doesn't even really exist in a brewing capacity yet. Barrel and Stave, not to be confused with Stave and Nail. So Barrel and Stave is something that's owned by the same guy who co-founded and is the president of Wild Barrel Brewing. There's already a Barrel and Stave poorhouse in Fullerton. There's going to be a Barrel and Stave poorhouse. Okay, I'm sorry, wait. Barrel and Stave is going to have a shared brew house at the Collab Vista facility that's going to be next to Indian Joe and Vista, but that's not built out yet, and that's going to have Chris Banker, the award-winning home brewer, at the helm of that. There's a lot to this. It's really tough. It's easier when they exist already. But there's going to be a Barrel and Stave poorhouse going in where Mother Earth Brew Co.
Poorer house.
Newer poorer. But yeah, going in at Mother Earth Brew Co.'s tap house back in Old Town Vista.
Wow.
Because Chris White, not Chris White from White Lads, and the second Chris at his brewery, Chris Banker, Chris White, is going to buy the building that used to house Mother Earth's Brew Co. Tap House and Mother's Provision. So he'll have both of those places at his disposal, and he is by late December, early January going to reopen the tap house component as phase one, and not do a whole lot to it. He's going to keep the bar as it is, change the seating configuration, add much needed air conditioning, and then just basically put in the beers of Barrel and Stave. But here's where it gets really interesting for people who are just talking about Cellar Maker. He says, how come there's not a bar that's selling the beers of these hype breweries up in NorCal that we don't get distributed down here? He cites Cellar Maker, Faction, Moxa, and a lot of others. He's going to start bringing those beers.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to start bringing all these beers down there and having them on tap along with his beers, and then of course local beers as well. So that's going to be a pretty interesting place in that it really doesn't exist in a full-time capacity. You'll see some places get kegs of whatever, like the one drop of Great Notion that comes every 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm totally kidding.
Yeah, it's similar.
We're not mad at that, Tom. It's okay.
I'll take it.
It's similar with Moxa products. Like once a quarter or twice a year, we'll get a small allotment of like 25 cases. Well, so you got to really be on it. Yes.
So he's going to make that happen on a consistent basis, and that's pretty cool.
It is really cool, man. Yeah. And if you want to be in the know and get all of your news at least an hour before the public, go to patreon.com/San Diego Beer News, $5 a month. support Brandon's personal effort of San Diego Beer.news. And
Just $5, guys.
It's just $5, and you can be in the know. And speaking of Patreon and crazy support, we have 53 rabid fans that we are just
rabid fans.
They're beat down.
I love rabbits.
They're beating down our door for more shows every day. We couldn't possibly do the show without the support of people that literally pay the bills. And if you join patreon.com/The Indie Beer Show at $6 or more a month, that's the pint level, I get to thank you every fucking week. And this week, the people that I have to thank are Ben, Bill, Brian, and Christopher Pariah. Brian Good, who happens to be listening right now. Captain Eli, who still owes me an email. Casey, who gave me the Persimmon Hazy Deepa from Protector. And Jimbo's. Thank you, lady. Dan,
Hey, if you don't mind, real quick, I'm gonna step away for 1 second real quick. I'll be right back.
You got like 2 minutes.
Do your thing.
Sometimes you gotta go in the middle. It's okay. Dan Diego's, who's listening. Dante from Pariah. David Martin.
David.
He came to Mujeres.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's always nice to be the second best producer that ever worked on the show. It's really cool. Doug, Garen from Beer Alien, Greg from Stone, The Indie Beer Show, brand COVID-19 pandemic, socially distancing, Zorball LLC. Thank you, Greg and Maggie. Hoppy Crescent Podcast. James, Jared, Jason, Jess from Ale Tales, Joaquin from Quaff, Joe, Joseph. Where was I? I totally lost my place. Joey from Hoppy Beer Gear. Juan, Judith, Ken, honorary patron for life, Larry Smith. We miss you with all of our heart. Liz from Hossbauer.
Liz from Hopspower, Matt and Candace.
From the Perfect Pour, Miguel. They're great. Miguel, who's in Texas, Mr. Peacock from Tapcraft, who visited Abel this week, Mike Zahagan, Nathaniel, Norman, OC Brewgirl, Mary again. Answer your Facebook messages, please, so I can send you some mugs. Pacific Beer Chat, Robert from 13th Point, Rudy from Jolly Spaceship, we love you, dude. Sergio Nikos, and Jagus. By the way, if you are in the mug club, your mugs were shipped out either today or yesterday. So
blame FedEx or whoever.
So blame, in this case, UPS. We're waiting for Mary needs to reply. And then I also need a reply from Jason Parr, if you're listening, Jason. So these are just people that haven't got back to me yet to confirm their address. I want to make sure that we have current information. So there's just the two of you. Confirm your information so we can complete this cycle of rewards for our patrons. You guys supported us. We want to get these rewards in your hands. And with that being said, it's time for our number one. Let's start with Estella. The number one thing you are thankful for this year, lady.
Aside from my family, is that I get to do this with you guys every Thursday, honestly.
That's awesome.
It helps my week go by a lot faster, and Thursday's my really good day. And honestly, that's because of you guys, and I get to talk to everybody and make fun of people and, bother Abel and, do that kind of stuff. So
yeah, you guys gotta stop texting at 7 in the morning.
What, you don't like waking up at 40 messages? Come on.
Oh, man. It's like every time I wake up, there's a book I have to read. I'm like, come on now.
The group chat is rapid, and if you're not awake, you wake up to a book. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
I think we should release that group chat someday.
Someday.
No.
Text
we'll just do the government. We'll just highlight the black.
Yeah,
certain parts.
Redacted.
Nope.
All right, Adrian. Abel, number one thing you were thankful for. I was reading someone else's name on a piece of paper. I'm sorry, doing too many things.
It's all right. It's not my first time. Not to get too political and things, but I'm very thankful for the United States for having the most votes in history and making things happen. I mean, if you voted for, I guess, colors, blue or red, but you voted. And that is the most amazing thing you can do as a human being, as a
every
citizen, as the United States.
Right?
And so it's awesome that the United States stepped up this time around, and voted. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, San Diego did too. We had like the most votes here in San Diego in a long time. Like I said, the whole United States did. I'm happy with the outcome. That's all I can tell you. And so I'm very thankful for.
Oh, you didn't want those dialysis clinics to close.
Yes. And a little bit of a side note on that: the people stepping up in the United States for the Black Lives Matter, people stepping up to help one another, love brothers, sisters. It doesn't matter who you are, what color you are. You stepped up. You fought for your neighbor. You fought for the person that you work with, that next to you, and that's great. I'm very thankful for that.
Right on, man. That's a pretty good and dual number one. It's rad, man. Brandon,
I'm done.
That's rad. He's out. Mic drop.
No.
Headphone drop on that one.
At least he gets to edit out his own fucking noise. That's
exactly.
All right, Brandon.
So I am super thankful for friends and family. I think like everybody else is. My son has moved back from Nebraska. He lives here now. He's brought along with him his girlfriend, who will the future soon enough. Sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned, because I think she's an angel. I love my hopefully future daughter-in-law to be. She's just a wonderful person. We're going hiking tomorrow. This is in Mask. She's going on my route with me. It's the first time I've ever hiked with anybody.
You need to come hike out here, dude.
Oh, seriously, yes.
Don't push him off any rocks, please. No.
No, I'm not gonna push anyone off.
Don't go rock climbing, bro. Just don't go rock climbing.
Hikes out here are
I'm comfortable, but friends, family. I love my dogs, but the one thing I'm most thankful for, especially because I've been here so much, and this has been such a finite world, is someone who this might come as a shock to you, but I'm hard to live with. I'm not that. So
your dogs make it clear that you are hard to live with.
Yeah, they're terrified of other humans. They're like, you probably like him. But my wife Heather, who is just the most wonderful person I've ever known, I love her so much.
The best.
And she has done everything to kind of make it so life isn't as bad as it could be. It's better than it should be, as a matter of fact. And she's probably brought more beer home than most of the breweries that I'm in before. She's so nice. But yeah, just having someone as a rock and support in such a weird situation means a lot. That's why I married her. But 13 years in, we still love each other so much, and she's still the best by far. And I'm very, very thankful for her always.
That's awesome. Awesome.
We love her too.
She's literally my better half.
You're not going to get many arguments. I'm sorry. Sam, anything to add to the thankful parade?
When you first asked me that question, I thought I was supposed to give all three away. So
you did. Friends, family, and health. Yeah. That's great, man.
Friends, family, health. All the people that support the small businesses.
Pothead fans.
Our pothead fans. Yeah, dude. Like Abel said, I'm stoked that things went the way they went this year. I've never been huge on politics, but I've also never been this angry about the person running the country. So I was like, man, we got to step this shit up. And
I don't think we had a choice. I don't think we had a choice. Yeah. We all had to just get in there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I love seeing the whole Black Lives Matter thing. The movement's been amazing. We have a stout that we're dropping called Reparations.
Oh, and, nice.
I think we're donating most of all of the money to.
Nice. Your Oscar's cousin?
Oh yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Rad, man. Small fucking world. That's rad.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. I'm from TJ. I was born in Tijuana.
Saaz. My dad's from Tijuana too.
I was raised in Cali. I mean, I've only been an Oregonian for 2 years, but
wow.
But yeah, I know a lot of the people down there for sure.
Those are all great sentiments, and mine kind of echoes those. While we're all definitely very thankful for the health of our family, the ones that everyone has been able to keep their health. I'm also very thankful for what I consider my chosen family, my friends, the people on this podcast, the 10 people that I actually constantly am texting all the time in private and stuff currently through all COVID.
At 7 a.m.
At 7 a.m. Yeah, that's my heaviest texting period is when most people are asleep. But just legitimately, one of the things that was oddly positive about the COVID situation was it really showed you who your real friends and real family were. And so sure. I'm appreciative to those members of my chosen family. You all know who you are. You're the best. I fucking love you. Thank you.
You know who you are. You're exactly. Cool. You're cool. Fuck you. You're cool.
I'm out.
Exactly.
All right, Sam, where would people go? What's the best social media channel to keep up with everything Great Notion Brewing?
You can check out our website, greatnotion.com. You can download the app on your iPhone or Android.
That's the
Great Notion app. You can follow us on social media at Great Notion. I think we're switching everything to just Great Notion. It will no longer say Great Notion PDX or
and you still have currently you still have the different locations, but if you follow the main account, which is at Great Notion.
Yeah, the main account is at Great Notion. That's where you can get all the details to go follow, like Alberta, Georgetown. We have a new spot opening in Seattle, Ballard. That's coming soon.
Nice.
Yeah, you can stay up to date with everything on the website, on the app. Yeah. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up for the people that earned all the points on the app, all the Timber Beast guys and girls. We have some really cool shit dropping soon. So,
rad. Follow, get the app, pay the fuck attention. And if somehow you want to talk to us, we're at cheers@indie.beer if you believe in email, which is this weird ancient communication tool. Indie Beer Show in Twitter. No one tweets us. It's okay. It's cool. It's just our followers happen to be at the Indie Beer Show in Instagram and Facebook, and that's where we interact the most with our fans. That's fine. We go where the people are. If you want to leave us a voicemail, if you want to be the 5th voicemail of 2020, your time's kind of running out. But if you want to be that 5th person, that's 619-798-6038. For everyone at this table, our screen, I just want to make sure that we thank the people that are listening currently. We could, it would be worthless for us to do the show without anyone watching us. So thank you to all the friends and family and fans and supporters and occasionally even a detractor this year. We've had some crazy freaking people I had to block even this year. But just thank you for everyone that clicked on that stupid notification that said the Indie Beer Show is live. We really appreciate you listening to what we have to say about craft beer. For Abel, Estella, Mr. Brandon Hernandez, woo, Sam, and the entire Great Notion Brewery. You've been listening to the Indie Beer Show. Thank you, and good night.
Bye.